morning. Oh, good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope all is well. Well is all. And pray that God is blessing you. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Welcome to Sterling in the Morning right here. We do real talk. We talk about the real things, the real issues. Praise be the name of the Lord. And so, hope that I will be able to do justice this morning as we talk about the feds are coming. Really want to address the issue with Sean Puffy Combs and Eric Adams this morning, among other issues such as the flooding throughout the United States. We see where the flood zones, and we see where folks need help, and we're hoping that they will get the help as they truly deserve, hoping that help will reach them. Those who are in flooded areas, pray that they will get the needed help. And so today we are in a world that is so desperately wicked. However, we know that God is still in control. So I give God all the praise and all the glory. And so this morning we're going to talk about this uh, issue that's going on within the city of New York. And not only the city of New York, but it extend into other parts of the country or other parts of the United States. Now, before I get into the Sean Puffy Come issue and then the Mayor Adams issue, let's keep in mind that there are other issues that are pending, or not pending, but there are other issues that are being pursued by the feds, and we see in the future the federal government. They got R. Kelly. We got R. Kelly shut down, serving time right now. The movie Mungle, whatever they call him, Weinstein or whatever his name was. I can't remember his name. Don't keep it in my head too tough. But he got time in jail. Also, feds got him. Who else? We had so many that the feds went after, and we're in an election year. And so, with so much things happening around us, sometimes people lose sight of the real facts and the true facts, and so forth. So, bless you. Good morning, my brother here. And so, we want to talk about what's really going on. We see for years, let's talk about Sean Puffy Combs. And for years, Sean Puffy was actually um, a person that I used to listen to his music when I was out there in the world. Used to listen to his music, and so I knew of some of his music. I knew of his beginning, his start, how he started, and some of the relationships he had with folks, and so forth. So I'm familiar with this guy. I'm familiar with his music. Okay, I'm familiar with the atmosphere, the lifestyle. Okay, familiar with all that. So with that said, I just simply want to get into it where this guy way back in the days. Remember the days of um, Biggie, what they call him, Biggie, right? Biggie Small. Remember back in the days of Biggie Small. Back in the days when Jay Z was upcoming, also Tupac Shakur, Snoop Dogg, Busta Rhyme. I mean, I can go down the list, right? Mary J. Blige. You got Faith Evans. I mean, and the list goes on and on and on. And so these guys were running New York City, LA, California, Hollywood. They were all over. All right. These guys were just producing music, putting videos out there. We had BET running the music 24/7. All right. And so a lot of these guys, got rich. They got mega rich. They became multi-millionaires, whatever you want to put it out. But hey, listen, they made millions of dollars, platinum records, all these kind of things. These guys reap, and a lot of the lifestyles were behind closed door. A lot of the lifestyles were behind closed door. I myself, I got myself caught up in some of this stuff when I was roaming the world a little bit, backslide into the world, and decided to get around some of these guys. Decided to get around some of this limelight and so forth. And I got a little inside look at the lifestyle. I remember I remember one day laying down on my bed watching a videotape, a video actually of Busta Rhyme and who else? He did a Missy Elliott and all of them, and I saw these guys throwing money in the air. They have champagne that when you go to the club, this is what everybody wants. What's the name of that champagne again? When you go to the club, these people want Moet. They had Moet, and you go to the club. The big money rollers. They would have one or two bottles of Moet inside of a ice bucket and whatever, and all the guys around with a champagne glass. So and Cavassier and you name it. I don't remember a lot of the names of these stuff, these drinks, and these whatever. Um, the main drink back in the day also was, uh, you know, Sex on the Beach and Long Island iced tea and you name it. Y'all guys know what I'm talking about, right? Way back in the days, this is what y'all used to do. And then I was watching the video and I'm seeing these guys using champagne and just shaking it and spray it all over the place, all over each other. And I thought was like this was such a waste and all this. And I saw them with money that they were just throwing like money was water, like nothing. They got all these big cars and and many times I'm a young man looking at it and I'm thinking this is the lifestyle, this is real, this is what they do actually. And so I just like many teenagers today, just like many teenagers back in my days, they thought that this stuff was really real and this is how these guys live and this is how they roll and all that. So a lot of people was trying to get with them and get into that and so forth, not understanding that it was just simply a facade. It was just really a movie. It was just really a setup. It was just really a making of a video. They all didn't have it like that. Some of them had it and some of it was like fake money and all of these things and as I grew up and I got amongst them and I began to understand or I began to understand that this is how they roll and it's really simply a video that they put together and they make it look real like this is how they live and this is but a lot of them were broke, a lot of them didn't have nothing. So let's break it down now, okay? I'm getting to Puffy. I'm getting to Sean come here in a minute. So, so a lot of them didn't have it. A lot of them, it was borrowed. It was loaned. It was like they had to do things that the producers or the promoters would ask them to do sex favors, drug runs, all these different kind of things they had to do, and then they will give them the gold chain and the cars and the whatever, and they will hook them up for a little bit. But they had to do some stuff in order to get it. I remember also a young lady was a prominent, she was a singer, and then she got into acting. Eve, y'all don't remember about Eve? There was a girl called Eve, and she used to sing for them. Faith Evans, Mary J. Blige, and they had to do sex favors for these guys, these promoters, and these people who are making records for them in order to make it in the music business. A lot of stuff went down behind closed door that the public didn't know of, not aware of, and so forth. And then as these people got older, some of them used to come out and talk about them. Some of them used to come out and reveal a lot of the stuff that were going on behind closed door and what was going on at parties, drugs. People were bringing in firearms, bringing in drugs into the clubs, and all these kind of things, backdoor entrance, and so forth, and all these things were going on, and the public, they were just pouring money like crazy. People buy their records, they become platinum, silver, all these kind of things. And the public just pour their money at these people, not understanding that these people were living a lifestyle of I don't even know how to put it, but the lifestyle, the things that we're doing, they were gunslingers, drug addicts, substance abusers, sex abusers, child offenders, um, trafficking of minors, and what you call it, human trafficking. All these things that these people were a part of, and the public keep throwing their money at them because they love the hip hop, they love the R&B, and all these things. R. Kelly, people knew about R. Kelly for years. He got caught a couple times. They tried to bring him to trial. He paid them off. They got quiet over the years, and then it caught up with R. Kelly eventually, right? So now it caught up with P Diddy. So now Sean comes. I believe, if I'm not, I believe, I don't have no evidence, but I believe that he was rolling with Tupac and Biggie Small and Snoop Dogg and all of them back in the days. And I believe this guy um just waited. I I, I don't want to really say it, but I must say it. I believe, I have a feeling that this guy, he knew about the hit on Biggie Small. I believe Sean knew about the hit on Biggie Small. I believe also he knew about the hit on Tupac. He know Tupac were gonna, stuff was gonna go down with Tupac. But I believe Sean have information. He knows stuff about that, and that's just my belief. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't have no evidence where that is concerned. But I was actually, living around the time period when all of these stuff was going on, and they were making their way to the top and all of that stuff. And back in those days, it was like a lot of jealousy and a lot of fight amongst them, that even when they had their groups, they break off and go solo. They went solo and all of that. Mary J. Blige wasn't getting along with Faith Evans and all of these other things. They were actually jumping. The guys were jumping from. The guys were taking turns actually with the woman. They were taking turns with the woman. So you understand, Faith Evans had something to do with Tupac. Then Biggie had, Faith Evans at one point. So they were just a rivalry going back and forth, back and forth. So Sean is no innocent guy when it comes to knowing the inner circle, when it comes to knowing what goes down behind closed doors, when it comes to how to get somebody record out there. He tell the guy, the girl, the woman, whoever comes to make a record, this is what you got to do, and you got to do this for me, and you got to do that, and so going back to Eve got tired of it. Eve got tired of doing these little sex favors for these guys, that she branched off into movies. She didn't want to do singing anymore, and she branched off into doing acting. And her acting career took off. After a while, I don't hear nothing about Eve anymore. But she had a good run with her sitcom for years. All right, and so back to Combs, not knowing that he was so deep into these RG parties back in the day. And that's why we keep telling people, when Christmas time comes around and certain times of the year, these people come together with their big parties, and these are the things they do. They got all these drugs on the table. More volume on the microphone. More volume on the microphone. Man. Yeah, I'm having some issue with this microphone. And then let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I gotta find. Wow. Yeah, I gotta find a way um how to get this volume going on this microphone properly. But anyway, I believe you're hearing me now. Um, I'm trying to figure out how else to get more volume on this microphone. But anyway, all right. Like I was saying, right, going back to Combs, it's what it is, man. Um, things go down that the public didn't know of, public not truly aware of, but the people behind the scenes they know. So a lot of behind the scenes things happened, and so a lot of people knew about Sean, what he was doing behind closed door. However, they right now they got to keep their mouth shut because he got them on videos. He got videotapes of them. However, the feds are coming, so the feds got them right now. So, like I said, the feds are coming, and we saw where the feds went into Sean's home, and they pulled out whatever evidence they needed to pull out. Let me see. Oh boy, they pull out whatever evidence they could find on him, and so we are aware of the raid they did on his home. Um, they went in and they did what they had to do, and so all right, based on what they found, all the hidden tapes and so forth. They called him out, they pulled him out, and so here we are today. Sean is doing time. All right, so let me see something here. Give me a second. All right, so yeah, this is where we are today, man. Before we get to Eric Adams, we're gonna get to that. My friend Eric Adams, got to keep praying for him that all being well and well is all. So we know about the raid on Sean's home, and so they went in and they found flash drives and videotapes and all of that stuff. They went in and hey, what he had in his safe. They were able to open the safe and get that and get all that evidence on him. And then now we heard of, let me see where I have that more might be coming up the pipeline, right? More charges. They talking about over 100. Um, they're talking about over 100 different people might come forward and 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 um, and speak some more on what's this guy has done to them. And latest news we heard about the minor saying that at least you know as a minor he was I guess that you could call it that he was being forced or used, if you want to put it that way. I mean, it is crazy, man. It is crazy the amount of stuff that they're bringing out. The amount of stuff that they're bringing out, the amount of stuff that they're claiming that this guy has done. I mean, wow, folks, this is crazy stuff here. But it's what's expected of this type of lifestyle with these guys. Combs soon to be facing new allegations from over 100 men and women, right, who have obtained legal representation already and plan to file civil suit against him. And so this guy is done. He was such a flight risk. He was such a risk that they prosecutors asked for no bail, just straight to jail. When you're playing Monopoly and they're like, don't pass, go straight to jail. This is what they did to this guy, straight to jail, right? So some of the cases they intend to file, according to Busby, will center on allegations. Will center on allegations of violent sexual assault, um, uh, rape and sexual abuse, facilitating sex with controlled substance, false imprisonment. We see they went after Bill Cosby. We call him Bill Cosby. Eventually, he got vindicated in some charges and so forth. Here again, we see where these guys were using pills in someone drink, or drop a pill in their drink, or spike their drink and give it to them, and they would be out of their minds. They would know what they're doing, and then he would take advantage of them. False imprisonment, holding people against their will, compelling prostitution. Come on, sexual misconduct. I mean, it goes on. Dissemination of video recording and sexual abuse of minors, and I believe a lot of these videos were taken without people's consent, without the people who are in the videos. Some of them, I believe, probably didn't give consent. They just know they're going to a party. This is Sean party. This is P Diddy party. It's the best party on Hollywood. We just going, and I believe a lot of these videotapes were done without some of these people um, being aware, okay, without their consent. I don't believe there was what we call consensual um, signing of documents saying that, okay, it's okay to videotape me and all of that stuff. So these are some real serious charges, and these are a lot of charges on Sean Combs, and that's it for this guy. That's it. He's done for. All right. R. Kelly sitting in jail. The movie Mongol sitting in jail, rotting away. So this is it. Eventually it caught up with them, and so may God have mercy. May he repent. Remember, I did a show a couple months ago when he was caught on camera beating this woman, abusing this woman in the hotel. He dragged her and all of these stuff, and he was caught on tape, uh, and so we get a first hand look at him in action, his abusive ways and behavior, how he was handling the woman that he's supposed to love or be with. He handled her really bad. It got caught on tape. He tried to pay off the hotel to get the tape. Eventually, the tape was released to the public, and I mean, from there, they just kept going after him, and eventually he was arrested and indicted. So, I mean, wow, what can I tell you? What can I say? Um, it is what it is. All right. So he was arrested and indicted, and here we are now with Eric Adams. Eric Adams. Now they're going after Eric Adams. Let me see here. Let me see here. Before we get into, in March, federal agents executed searches of Combs' property. Right. So we know for a fact. We know that. Right. They executed what we call um, uh, search warrant, rather. They executed search warrant. So this is according to NBC News. Right here, we saw here where um, they executed search warrant. So this picture is according to NBC News that I'm showing you here, where the authorities carry out their raids on Sean P Diddy Combs' property right here, and so they were able to go in and got some evidence that they will use in their case against him. So, hey, listen, folks, the feds are coming. Eric Adams said, "Where's my phone? The feds are coming. Where's my phone?" Hey, listen, man. it's some serious stuff here. Got to keep praying for my friend here, Eric Adams. Hope all works out for him. These are some serious charges here that they put together against him, and so uh, it's not an easy thing here, and so he he's so he's looking to keep faith and to run the city the best he can. So here we go. So we have all this stuff going on here. Um, okay, so we have all this stuff going on here, where Adams is now. Let me go to that article that I have so I can do some breakdown on things. You know, it is so tragic what's going on in times like these when we really need people to stand up and defend things. But let us look at this for a minute. Let me see if I can get this up here. Let me see if I can get this up here. All right, here we go. So right there in the background, we see here, what's going on. Eric Adams got to appear before the courts, and he has to answer to the charges that they brought against him in the indictment. Where they have indicted him, and so it is where we stand today. Several different charges that has come against him. So let's look at some of the charges that they have charged him with. Um, let's see some of the charges that they have charged Eric Adam with, and see what we can do about. Well, what we can do is but pray for him, right? We can only really continue to pray that God will help this man to get out of some of these things, some of these stuff. So New York City Mayor Eric Adams pleaded not guilty anyway, and that was last Friday. And the five federal charges that came against him. All right, five federal criminal charges, and one accepting bribe, second wire fraud, three illegal campaign contributions, four foreign from illegal campaign contribution from foreign national, really four as five. What is bribe. There was something attempt to I think wire something wire transfer or something like that has to do with one of the charges also has to do with wire transfer of money and stuff like that as the all right. So a lot of people calling for him to step down, to step aside, and he, says he's gonna steer the ship. He's gonna stay and do what he is called to do, what he has been selected to do, and that is to lead the city. And so they actually trying to try him right now in the public, but he's pleading his case also to the public. Okay. Um, so he has a story to tell, and he's successful, and he's doing what he can do right now, and basically, some folks are not pleased with what he's doing. Some folks are not pleased with what's going on. Some feel that he could be doing more, and so it's what it is. All right, I'm rambling here. It's all right. So all right, New York City Mayor Ike Adams. God pray for him. Yes, yes, yes. The feds are coming, folks, and so we're praying that this man will get the right representation that he should get and can get and will get, and get out of this conspiracy to commit wire fraud. There it is, wire fraud. And so you all know about this. You heard it in the news. You hear what's going on. So what can I say here? It affects us because as clergy leaders, we tend to rally around Eric Adams, and we tend to pray with him, pray for him, and we tend to try to get the city on the rap where the crime is concerned, the violence is concerned. So as clergy, we try to work with him and work with the city hall to help our community to be a better place, a place where people can live safely. We see the gun violence throughout many other cities as well, but here in New York City, one of the best cities in the entire country, we really working hard to make sure whatever we can do, we can nip in the bud the gun violence. And so one of the counts, count one, as I said, conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Count two, wire fraud. Count three and four, solicitation of contribution. And solicitation of contribution by a federal, national, actually, and number five, bribery. So there we see uh, the case is pending right now. The mayor is standing his ground. He feels that he has not done anything wrong concerning the charges, and so as we continue to listen each day that he does his press conference, there are folks who trying to get him to talk about the case or to talk about things, but he's standing his ground that let the lawyers handle what's there and what should be done. So hey, it's Sterling in the morning, real talk. Welcome, thank you for being here. What more can I tell you is that the mayor has put together several agendas, several events, and he intends to keep these events going. We are grateful for the faith-based community who has come together to rally around the mayor and to pray for him. As many of you have seen some of the press footings where the clergy members are gathering around him. We know we have concerts that the faith-based initiative director has put together, Guilford Monroe's, and so we tend to continue to support all of those events that's going on. All right, so unfortunately, there are many other people around the mayor who have decided to resign, and we know of the police commissioner, we know of the school chancellor. He's getting ready to retire in December, and others who have pulled back, and others who have said that they are going to resign because of what's going on here. So that's where we are today, and you know, for what it is, we have to understand that this is not easy for the mayor at this time. This is not an easy thing to overcome. When you go to sleep, you have these things in the back of your head. You have these things that you're worrying about, how you're going to manage, what you're going to do, because here it is. Folks are asking me to step down, and at the same time, the feds are bringing these charges against me. And so I'm like, in my head. So I believe in his head, it's just spinning. What should he do? What should he do? And so the best way to handle it is to just keep moving forward, keep on doing what he's called to do, and that is to run the city. And so we just got to continue to keep praying for him. All right, let me play this song and then I come right back.
Wake up one morning, you hear a blowing. It is the sound of the last trumpet sound. Oh, 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 oh. It will be the end of time. You wake up one morning, you hear a blowing. It is the sound of the last trumpet sound. Oh, it will be the end of time. Look over yonder unquenchable fire, and it a burn and they have no water. Oh, it will be the end of time. Cinnamon a run and cinnamon a ball, as some a cry for Peter and Paul. Oh, it will be the end of time. Oh, they ball out, oh, help me, oh Lord. So they cried out, Lord have mercy. Why I never listen to the preacher man? He preach and he preach and he preach and he preach. Why I never listen to the prayer warriors? They go down on their belly and they ball out to me. I said the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords sit upon his throne with the books open. man a run and sinner man a ball. Some a cry for Peter and Paul. It will be judgment day. Fox of hold and the birds of nest, but Son of Man has nowhere to lay his weary head. It will be judgment day. To the ball of boy, the river runs dry. Hear the ball of boy, the well runs dry. Why I never listen to the preacher man? He preach and he preach and he preach and he preach. Why I never listen to the prayer warriors? They go down on your belly and they fall out to me. Oh, I said you wake up one morning, you hear a blowing. It is the sound of the lost trumpet sound. It will be the end of time. It will be the end of times. Fox have hold and the birds of nest, but Son of Man have nowhere to lay his head. It will be the end of time. Pick me a run and pick me a ball. Big man a run and big man a ball. It will be the end of time. Wake up in the morning, you hear a blowing. It is the sound of the lost trumpet sound. It will be the end of time. It will be the end of time. Hear me now. It will be the end of time. It will be the end of time. Oh, Lord, no, no. Oh, no, no.
Yeah, the music of Croswell Daily, Judgment Day. That's right, Croswell Daily, Judgment Day. All right, so let's continue a little bit more concerning this issue here. Let's see if I can bring this up for you. All right, let's see if I could bring this up, bring this up, bring this up. Where we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? All right, so here we go. Okay, so now we're looking at some of the administrators that has we're looking at some of the administrators that has resigned, so to speak, right? So some of them we have Edward Kuban, one of the first one to go. We understand his cell phone was taken as well. We have David Banks. We know his cell phone was taken as well as his then girlfriend at the time. Now I believe I've heard that he's married. If I'm not, I heard they got married eventually. They got married. So then on top of that, we have Aswan Vaswan, so the health commissioner, and then we have Lisa resign as well. Chief counselor, she resigned, and then we have Tim Pearson resign, and so right after Edward Coban um, resigned and stepped down, Eric was able to put in another gentleman. And as soon as he put him in, within 1 week, the feds raided his home and took his cell phone and so forth. And and you know, it didn't look good. It didn't look good that 1 week right after he put him in, the feds went after him as well. And they went 20 years back and decided to come forward with some stuff, pull up some stuff, and so the mayor find himself in a very defensive position, and he find himself where his administration is now falling short, and so these people has to be replaced. All right. So, a matter of fact, they got a replacement already for David Banks. They got a replacement already. When he retired, someone is waiting to take the chancellor position and run with it. Edward Kuban, like I said earlier, the gentleman that was replacing him was an expert, very very skilled in terms of expertise when it comes to security, homeland security, and so forth. And they went after him right after he accepted the position. So we are in some troubled time in the city, some rocky road right here in the city. But we're praying to God that God will guide us through, will help us to make it through and to get through it. So um, what can we say? What can we do, ladies and gentlemen? God is not sleeping, and sometimes our best intention can end up, you know, our best intention can end up being talked about in a negative manner, or can be looked at something wrong or something bad, even though we want to do the right and we want to do the best for not only ourselves but for our family, and like in this case for the city. But yet when the mayor goes on certain vacations, certain trips, he travel a particular airline, and it becomes questionable because he's traveling a particular airline, and so it becomes questionable. All right, so that's Banks, and then his then girlfriend uh, also they took her cell phone and was looking through it. But like I said, he was traveling uh, overseas, and he was traveling on vacation or wherever he might have been traveling, and he traveled in a particular airline, and he traveled that airline, and they gave him upgrade from domestic to first class, special first class. And so they look at this as something um, suspicious, and then they say that he is taking favor from the foreign government because they had given X amount of money to his campaign. Also, we understood that there was a building that the Turkish government, the Turkish folks wanted to get open, and they asked Adams to see what he can do. And so Adams looked into that. Maybe he spoke to the FDNY department about it, and based on that, they go after him for um, opening up the building when he knows that it wasn't ready. So he's not the expert to know that it's ready, but they would report to him because the fire department had to pass the building. So the building had to pass inspection, and the fire department are the ones who would do that. So he weren't able to get that. Hopefully he will be able to get that clarified or cleared up with them, how that went down. So we understand that it's not easy for Adams right now to run the city, but if he says he can and he's capable of, without these distractions or without focusing on these charges, then hey, we got to take him at his word and give him a chance and see how things will go. All right, so it's not that he alone will be doing everything. He has people in place that will be doing things, and so they have to still report to him what they're doing, how they have to report to him what progress is going on. All right, so we're talking right here, real talk, man. This is Sterling in the morning, real talk. We're talking about the issues right here that some folks are skeptical about. Some folks, it's so hard for them to talk about, and what is the real deal here with Adams? Let's talk about the real deal now. Do this. This is not for um, folks that are baptized in lemon juice or carrot juice or lime juice. This is for folks that are real. All right, so I'm coming real. I'm coming real. I'm coming live. I'm coming direct. And what if he's charged and found guilty? All right, so he's charged and found guilty. What if he has a trial and he's guilty? What next? How would you feel? How do we all feel about it? How do I feel about all this stuff that's happening? I'm somewhat concerned. Of course, I'm concerned. I'm not jumping ship. I'm not I'm not bailing out on Adams, but I'm going to just keep praying that God will shed light and God will direct the way. And what if he's found guilty? What if some of the stuff he has done, even though he felt he has done nothing wrong, but the feds say, hey, this is the law. You have broken the law, and therefore, we are going to prosecute you based on this law that you have broken. And now that you are being prosecuted, you're saying that you are innocent and you're not guilty. But here, this is a law, and now we have to prove without a shadow of a doubt that you did break the law. And so that's where we are today, that they have to prove that, okay, he did break the law. Those things he did were against the law. And so if they prove their case and he's found guilty, then he has some serious time that he will have to do. This takes me back to a friend of mine. I went to Samuel J. Tilden High School, and it take me back to a friend of mine. I don't want to really call his. Well, this is real talk right now. So you know what? It's the facts. It's out there, but I really don't want to bring up certain things that will cause a what we call a rift or a star with certain people out there. But this happens. True things did happen with a friend, and a politician back then. Um, you know, John Sampson. They went after him also. He had to do some time, and he did his time. He came out. He left politics, and so um, you know these things do happens when you are a politician. There are things that you got to say and do that if you're a minister and you're in politics, it can be a little tricky and a little hard for you as well as a minister in politics, because in politics you can't necessarily be 100% honest or 100% truthful. So that's the truth. So let me speak my piece here. As a politician, there are things you're gonna have to cover up. So let's be honest right here. All right, giving Adam the benefit of the doubt, but there are things that you're gonna have to keep keep secretive, or keep a low profile about, or there are things that you don't want others to know about, because hey, I'm a politician, and politicians, they let me be honest with you. You can't be a politician and don't tell lies. It's just that simple. As a politician, you gotta lie. You gotta tell a lie. You gotta give promises that you might keep and you might not keep. But you want to be elected. You want to run the office and be in, and you're gonna have to do things that you're not comfortable with, things that go against your belief, things that go against your tradition, things that go against your conscience, your moral. You got to do some things, because this is what it is, politics. And it's not so much it's politics without politics. There got to be some politics in it. Okay, so let me not sit here and sugarcoat things, but let me come straight forward and let me say really what I know and what I've seen. Okay, because as a politician, you have to cater to all different kinds of people. And there are some people that you're going to ruffle their feathers. There are some people you're going to please, and there are other people you're not going to please. So there are a lot of people who are disgruntled about the immigration status, or the immigration policies, or the handling of the migrants coming into New York City. A lot of people are disgruntled about that. We know that some of the migrants are at the federal site in Brooklyn, over where you call that place again? That federal ground. You pass Marine Park and you go way down. Wow, 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 wow. But there's a place over there, a lot of migrants. Then we understand that a lot of the migrants are in hotels throughout New York City. So let's talk. Let me get down the nitty gritty here. Right here. Right, get down into some of the nitty gritty here. We know for a fact that some of the hotels have some of the migrants staying in some of the hotels, and some folks, when they go to some of these hotels, they are not aware of the situation that the very same hotel they are staying in, there are some migrants in there, and also the homeless. We know a lot of the homeless when they are um, aid and bedded, when they go through the system, they are placed in some of these hotels as well. Some folks are really disgruntled that, oh, we've been here so long. Oh, I've been here so long. I filed for my this, I filed for my that. I try to get this, and I'm getting no help from the city. And here comes the migrant. They're getting everything. So that narrative is out there, and a lot of people are buying it, right? Oh, the migrants just come here and they're getting everything. They're getting free food, they're getting free bed, they're getting free this, they're getting everything free. And I'm here for so long and I can't get nothing. And so you got people out there who are really, really saying these things, who are really adamant about the issue of the migrant coming in and getting here. But what else can you do? This is a city where you take people in and you help them. This is a city where you give them homes, clothing, right? This is a city of refuge. This is a city where you take people who are destitute and broken. They're homeless. You give them home. They're shelter, right? You give them shelter. Shelterless, you give them shelter. Food, they don't have food to eat. They don't have money to buy food. You give them an opportunity to get a meal. Clothing, they don't have winter coats. They don't have winter clothes. You have agency that will give them clothes, will give them coats, will give them all these things. So these things are given to these people while they are being aid and bedded, while they are being put into the system. There are records of these people. They are their names are recorded, and so forth and so forth. Information, where they're coming from and so forth. Information has been taken or from them, or and they are placed in the records or the archives or whatever you want to call it, and then if they have relatives in any of the boroughs or any of the cities or any of the states, they are able to move on to these people while they wait for their political asylum, or they wait for their asylum to come to be approved. And also, in the meantime, the government or the governor, the state, the city, whatever, they're trying to get Congress or the White House to pass a bill where a lot of these people can get work permit in real time. They can get work permit in real time and be able to work and contribute to our society. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't like that, and so it's a fight where that is concerned. All right, what else? We're looking at the city. When I go to Brooklyn, when I travel to Brooklyn, Brooklyn is dirty. Brooklyn is a mess. Brooklyn folks they need to clean up some more. They need to clean up outside their homes, not just simply wait for the city to send a sweeper to sweep. And sometimes the sweeper comes and the sweeper can't sweep because the cars are parked and blocking the sweeper from sweeping the block. So all of that we got to take in consideration also. Is the city better off today than it was 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago? Has the city made progress in terms of the life, quality of life? All right. Now we had couple months ago where they were complaining about rats throughout the city. Remember, there was rats throughout the subways, rat throughout the city, on the pavement, on the sidewalk, and so Eric Adams have put in place where certain type of bins are now used to store the garbage, so that will eliminate the rats running freely and rampantly throughout the city streets and the city blocks. So faith house of worship also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it should start already, but house of worship, within this month, October, they have to put their garbage in a special bin as well. Their garbage must be placed in a special bin, especially on certain days, so forth. And then we have the Jewish how we call it, Jewish communities are complaining about that because the day for picking up the garbage or the day to put out the garbage might fall on their holy Sabbath day or the certain high Sabbath day. And so they are complaining about that as well. So, you have to put in place policies that's going to please everybody, but it's not going to please everybody. Some people it's going to please, and others it's not going to please. So that's that. So Adams have put in place where sanitation is now doing what they can to clean up the cities, to clean up the sidewalks. Then we have on top of that the restaurants who are able to build what we call outdoor seating area, outdoor eating area. We have these outdoor sheds where people are fancying up, prettying up. Now, when I drive through Sheepshead Bay, I mean they take advantage of that big time. Sheepshead Bay have the outside eating area. What you call them? Sheds or curbside um, shelters where people come and eat and so in Sheepshead Bay, woo, they beautify that stuff. They glad for that in Sheepshead Bay. They took advantage of that where the sheds are able to stay up. I believe the sheds has to come down. Some of the sheds, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do this, but I think some of the sheds has to come down during the winter and then put back up or whatever. So they had to narrow that part of it, that part of the law. They had to go in and narrow that out, or they were probably debating about that, talking about that, if that could stand, where they spend all this time put up a nice shed, then they got to pull it down for the winter, and then they got to put it back up again. That's crazy. I don't see how. I think they need to revisit that. They need to revisit that. I don't see how that's gonna work for businesses. Because you got to spend money to get the sheds go up, and then you got to spend money to get it come down, and then to put it back up again. And a lot of businesses are struggling right now. All right, so let's talk about that. A lot of businesses are struggling, and a lot of churches have closed down already. More churches are closing down as we speak because the rent in Brooklyn alone is sky high, is astronomical. People are not coming to service as before. They're not giving offering like they used to. So a lot of places in Brooklyn, you go on Flatbush Avenue, you drive down Flatbush Avenue, you see every block, you see places shut down. The shutters are down, no business going on right there because the economy is really, really in a bad state. All right. Hopefully, with the election, whoever gets in office, they will be able to help the economy to grow some more. Right now, we see that a lot of places also are fighting. A lot of what we call franchise places are fighting where price is concerned. Special deals. McDonald's giving special deal. Burger King special deal. Popeye special deal. KFC special deal. Papa John special deal, Domino Pizza special deal. So a lot of these people now are competing because people are not able to buy the food anymore. I mean, you go to McDonald's and you buy one burger, a fry, a drink. It's actually $10 right there. $10 for just the burger, the fries, and the drink. Right? You get what you call a deal or a meal deal. The meal deal alone is $10 and up just for the meal. The lowest meal deal is what, $8 and something. So now they're getting like 2 for $5, and so the economy is really really tight for a lot of people right now. What else? I want to talk about the flooding throughout the United States. We got to pray for those, especially in Florida. Um, they have lost. Hurricane Helen has done a number. Hurricane Helen has done a number in North Carolina, Florida. A lot of folks, a lot of, I mean, a lot of damage per se. I mean, wow, it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy. What how the damage this hurricane has done, man, throughout the the state. I mean, people have lost their home, mudslides, uh, displacement of boats, cars. Uh, man, it is just really, really um, rough right now for a lot of folks throughout the North Carolina area. Uh, they have lost so much. They have lost lives, over 169 counting. Have folks have died, have lost their lives already. Uh, you know, man, may God help these folks, man. They need help, right? But anyway, hopefully FEMA will step in and help them out. There has been what we call dec- the state has been declared as emergency, um, so they can get some federal help. Biden has visited a lot of these areas. As a matter of fact, I think yesterday he had supposed to do a flyover, so hopefully he did do that flyover. So we got people who have lost a lot of stuff, man. People are